I'm just gonna leave that right there. Or, wait, put it in. Well, if anything, I just took that off for everybody else, so it's not awkward for everybody else. Good morning, good morning. I just want to welcome everybody today to 1 Million Cups. Who has not been here before? Great, so thank you guys for coming. My name is Iana Mitchell. I'm one of the organizers here. I also have two organizers here with me. There is Kim Lane right here in the front and Aaron Dean in the back. What we do here is every Wednesday across the United States and quite a few cities, we host 1 Million Cups. And 1 Million Cups is a chance for startups to come and present their idea and or business and to learn from the community, which is you, and be able to better their business, learn from other entrepreneurs. I want to draw your attention to the board over here. Here we have hashtags, so please follow us on social media. Also, I want to thank our sponsors, which is the Kaufman Foundation, because the Kaufman Foundation is the foundation of 1 Million Cups, and also the Innovation Hub and Leiva'sCoffee. Also, if you want to connect to Wi-Fi here at the Hub, please find Innovation Hub Guest, and the password is "We Make Things," all one word, no lowercase. Also, our presenters today are OneBanc and Leiva'sCoffee, and we will start off with OneBanc today. So I want to welcome Jason.
Good morning. All right, so we are really excited to be here with 1 Million Cups Group and be able to present to you guys and look at some different options and things we can do to help you guys as startups and existing businesses be able to grow and be able to get off your feet in some ways. OneBanc has been around for almost 60 years. We've been a community-based bank here in the Central Arkansas area. Today we have, of course, myself, Jason Gambrell. We have Debbie Knight, who is our Executive Vice President of Retail Banking, and then also Joey Mall. He's going to be doing the majority of the talking this morning, kind of going through our PowerPoint and telling you a little bit about different aspects of the bank. But Joey is a commercial lender with us and has been doing so for 25 plus years. So he's not that old though. So, you know, what we want to do is we want to be able to give you guys, you know, depending upon where you're at in your business, to be able to give you a base. This is by no means, you know, a cookie cutter type way of doing things. I know with local business, OneBanc, we're a local business. We want to do business with local businesses. So we want to help you guys grow. So I'm going to turn this over to Joey, and he's going to go through and kind of give you some pointers on some things.
Good morning. As Jason said, I'm Joey Mall with OneBanc. Born and raised in Pulaski County. Never left, stayed here, so I know all there is are with Little Rock, Pulaski County. I guess what I'm gonna try to do is kind of hit on the finer points, if you will, start up and what you're looking for, what you need, and if you have an existing business or if you're going to be buying a business, what you're going to be looking at, requiring to get that business up and going, and or if you have an existing business that you need to expand some those ideas, how that relates to the bank and lender. So, if you will, just play along with me on this one. I know if everybody's looking for, I need to be behind this.
Yeah, right over here. And actually, they need to be over here.
If you play along with me on this side, you guys over here, okay? You're really not looking for a loan. All you are to the bank right now, and all you really want to be are depositors. It's your money that you put into my bank to entrust that we make the right decisions to make loans. Okay? You're not looking for a loan. It's just your money that I'm going to loan out to this group over here. These guys are looking for a loan. And what I'm trying to do is unite the community so they can understand what it takes to make the correct decision, the right decision, a proven decision in what you're at. Don't want to dampen any dreams. Startups are very, very difficult. Okay? Very, very difficult. Casey's going to come through a little slide here. We're going to start with your idea was born. And the reason why I'm saying that about the depositors, I don't know what your ideas are on expanding your business, on startup especially. It's the hardest thing you can do. All right. I've got a good friend and a good customer who's going to walk in a little bit, and he's going to be available for you to talk to, because he came to me several months ago, and he is doing a startup venture, and it's a completely different industry than what he's been in all of his life. Okay, and what he's going from is a real estate title closer to opening up a barbershop. And so he came to me, we went out, had a drink, he started talking about it. You know, I had to get into him, and he had to get into me. I mean, I just got to understand, where are you going with this at 52 years old? All right? And that's where your idea is formed, and it's the most important thing right here is when you think about that idea, you're going forward. You're ready to expand your business, you're ready to buy a business. You've got some things in the works, you've got materials, thoughts, and ideas. That's when you need to come see me for a money, period. Okay? And what I mean by that is, you don't want to put your idea together, a business plan. Jeff, okay, some of you may know him. He came to me, and I helped him bring his packet together to present to my own bank. Okay, rather than Jeff putting that packet together and then coming to the lender and then looking for an approval, okay, or guidance. I'm not going to dampen your dreams, but don't look for approval, especially on startups, immediately. It's very difficult. You have no financial history, background, you're smart, you're intelligent, you've got a great idea, you're an entrepreneur. I love that. And I've been successful in getting those folks up and going. I've done a lot of startups, a lot of franchises, a lot of expansion on businesses. Those of you who are trying to expand, don't expand yourself out of business. And if you want to talk to me about that later, we can. But you can very well expand yourself out of business. But you guys over there are depositors. I've got to make decisions based on your money for these guys right here. So I want you to feel what it's like to put your money at risk, if you will, to be honest with you, for startup businesses, loans, and stuff like that in the bank. You deal with your lender. You sit there. It's not a one-time deal. You've got to spend time with that lender. You've got to find that lender that wants to spend time with you also. Okay? And I'm going to get a plug for OneBanc. Sort of is. Your best opportunity is probably going to be with the community bank, because they're going to take and reach out and understand and develop the community, and also they're going to reach out and have, like I do every day, my door is open for you to come in and have a cup of coffee, or you need to talk about your doing every single day. I got a phone on my desk. I got a phone in her purse that she took away from me this morning. And 99% of the time, I'm getting calls on that. And it could be, it literally is on the weekends when somebody finds something. Somebody comes up with an idea That's all. They see an opportunity and they'll text, can you do this? Sure. Come visit with them. And so what I'm saying is, you need to marry someone, your lender. And if you're going to own your own business, that's probably the second most important person in your life besides your spouse. Create a business plan. You're going to have to create your business plan. You're going to have to, what I would like to see is, as we're working together, the idea of, let's use Jeff as an example of a barbershop. What does he need to do? What information does he need to have in this proposal, in this plan, to come to the lender, to the bank, and present? Because he is starting a whole new venture, a whole brand new venture. And it also, going back to the expansion of the businesses, you might discover something that, another product that you want to take on that may not be in your portfolio right now. All right, you may have discovered something, which happens all the time. I see it all the time. Okay, and so you got to do some research. Pro formas, guys, pro formas are pro formas are pro formas. What are they based upon? Okay, I don't know what they're based upon. Most of the time they're wrong. I would encourage you to get with a similar customer, friend, someone who owns a barbershop. Talk to them, don't tell them what your idea is, but bring some real life information into your business plan. Real stuff. Here's what I can do. Here's where my market's going to be. Identify your market. Is it going to be Plastic County? Is it going to be Little Rock? Is it just going to be West Little Rock? Heights, where? Okay. What are you going to do to pull away from the other businesses? What are you going to do to grow the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years? And the other thing is, if you're going to own your own business and start up your own business, I'm doing good. If you like vacations and spending a whole lot of time at Christmas skiing and summer vacations, you might want to take pictures of those and just use them as memories, because if you own your own business, that's going away. It's not going to happen. All right? I'm not dampening any dreams. I'm just telling you how it is. You're not going to be an absentee owner and let someone who's managing it hope they can take care of it for you. Much like me, I'm trying to manage your deposits to get these guys started. All right? There's not a night that I don't take time off me. I'm worried about you guys. And you. Grid, this plan, I can't talk much about it. We can talk all day long on what that means, okay? It's so general, so broad that there are, SBA has a place out there that can help you. I'll help you. Jason, Debbie will help you. Mr. McKay is, Jeff, you stand up, please. He's back here and he's going to be for questions and answers. I'm telling you, very, very smart, very good. I would tap him, especially if you're looking to start your own business. I would tap him for everything he has in information. He's done a great job at doing that. Execute the plan. Do one more. That's right. Documents needed. Personal financial statement. The guys over here with the existing businesses. Guys over here, they're going to be buying their businesses, buying existing businesses. It's going to be fairly easy. The question is, have you ever been in that industry? Are you buying yourself a job? Am I financing you a job? You know, those things. But what you have is, we have some material and financial information and history to that business that makes it a little bit easier to make a decision. Collateral, cash, You know, what's your landscape, financial landscape? Are you strong enough to do this? Most of the time, your startup businesses aren't going to have collateral. All right? It's cash flow and it's character. And that's where the last 2 years tax returns, I was talking with JC and Jason about these special startups. It's meaningless. What I would look for is what I want to try to find in a 2-year tax return is stabilization and character, and you know that you might have been working for a title company and you stayed there and your income has been stable, and I'm looking for patterns. Okay, I'm looking for patterns over here to loan out your money, and that's difficult. And I can't put that on paper. That's this instinct. It's complete instinct. Okay. DNA. Listen. Sorry. Between startup businesses, between federal regulations, between your deposits, I have to protect you. That's my job. I have to find a way, and a prudent way, to start your business and get you up and running, because I won't have a job, and we won't have a community bank. The entrepreneurs and small businesses are the lifeblood of this nation. I'm sorry, that's what it is. The community banks are dwindling, but I think the community banks are the most important, because they're going to be the ones who are going to help these guys and you to expand your small businesses. You fellows and ladies are very important to own your small business. I love you guys. It's fun to work with you. You're going to have ups and downs. I've got one going on right now. And, you know, and it's an older gentleman comes in and cries at the table with a cup of coffee. But we're going to make it through. He's been in business since 1999. Don't worry about it. We're going to make it through it. The DNA plus sample is every piece of information that I can get out of you. If there's collateral, there's cash, equity, there's home equity, if whatever it is, to try to balance out that cash flow. Because technically, even in the just case, there is no collateral. I have no fallback. It's all cash flow. And that's a hard decision for me to make a decision with your money based on cash flow. Because I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I think it is in theory. Loan application, it's just another piece of the document that we have federal regulations, even on the businesses. I agree with it. I agree with the examiners, but you know, I don't want the personal financial statement and all that stuff. Business management team, I got you. I know I'm running out of time. Okay. Here's what I want you to think about too. You get started with your bank, whether it's us or somebody else. They help you out. It's a small bank or a large bank or a medium-sized bank. Whoever that lender is, you get started with that helps you out. You don't leave it. I don't care how mad you get. I don't care how mad he gets. I don't care what the rate is. I don't care what the terms are. But if they have helped you get started and committed their time and worry and concerns, everything else that you don't think that they're worried about, you stay with them through thick and thin until you grow so large that they can't handle you. It's a commitment. OneBanc, we do that. I do that. I'm a little bit different than some of our other vendors. You know, I'm gonna come in and I want to listen to him, even though we're buddies. I'm going to listen to him and I'm going to think, oh God, really? You're going from a career real estate deal to a barbershop, you don't know how to cut hair. And so, but he put together a plan and it's going to work. It's going to work. You got employee issues. You got all kinds of issues. Who owns this? You own businesses? Okay. You got employee issues. No, and you by yourself? Okay. If you have, I mean, he's gonna lose the rest of his gray hair over employee issues. See it all the time, hear it all the time. You know, and God bless you. If I can help, I will. You'll have to stop. I do want to introduce Jeff McKay, if you will stand up. Jeff has grown up, raised in Plastic County, Little Rock, is a closer, can I say it? Plastic County tile. He's opening up a barber shop in West Little Rock, one store, and he's going to open up a couple more stores later on. But tap him for that information and what he did and what he went through to get to where he's at. Myself and Debbie and Jason as well. So thank you for your time.
Okay, we're going to let them answer a few questions, and I'm going to make it quick so that we can move on to Leiva'sCoffee. So if anyone has any questions, we only have one microphone, don't we? So look, I'll just move around, come up to the front. That way we can hear you. Please state your name and who you're here with. That way we can catch it on the live stream, and then you can also catch it on the replay. So any questions for OneBanc? Okay, well, I actually have one. So I used to work for an organization, a nonprofit organization, and we did micro lending. And I liked what he said, stay with the lender. So my question to you is, when someone comes and says, I want to, own a barber shop, and they used to be like this big time real estate broker, what do you say to them to make them stay with you? Because a lot of times people, go to the bank and you've seen it all, I'm sure. So what do you say to keep them coming back?
One of the things that really resonates when you hear all of these talks, because I know many startups have gone to a bank and been denied. How many of you have done that? It happens, because startups are hard, just like Joey said. But most startups, you get an investor, right, that invests money into your company, and then they actually own part of your company. And that's kind of scary, because you came up with the idea, you want to be able to own your company outright. But that's typically how startups build, is with an investor. But then as you continue to grow, you don't want to get another investor, you want to get a bank, because you want to be able to grow and not have someone else have ownership of your company. So keeping that banker engaged the whole time and working with you and your investor actually will keep the plans going so that you can continue to grow your company. So yes, banks are very important in terms of those conversations, in terms of making sure that we're asking you the questions, can this business work? You want to really know that before you get in it. So we're going to ask you some hard questions just so that you've been thorough in your process of building a business. And I just want to say too, a lot of people are actually leaving companies and using their 401ks to fund another company. Now, we don't do that, but we can advise you on how to do that. Now that's scary because that's your retirement, right? That is another way of growing a business that people do. So think about these things, come talk to a banker and somebody like Jeff.
So I'm Jeff McKay. I'm in the process, as Joey mentioned, of starting a chain of old-fashioned barbershops. And I've never cut hair before. I've never been in the barbershop business. But I came across an idea about 2 years ago, and I kind of ran with it. And I found a franchise that specialized in old-fashioned barbershops, kind of a high-end type, where you can get a straight edge shave and a shoe shine. And so I knew that I needed capital, but I needed more than just capital. I needed a business partner, because my strategy at age 51 was to grow this as quickly as I could, so that I had something by the time I was ready to retire. And so I went to Joey and told him about this idea. And he kind of briefed me on what the bank's expectations were, what they needed in terms of documentation, what they needed in financials. They had a model in place where they had done some work with franchises before, and they had a concept called cash flow lending. And so before I even applied for the loan, I went to someone like Joey, and he gave me kind of a footprint of what the bank was looking for. And then it became apparent, though, that the bank is not just looking for a business deal. The bank is looking for a partner to grow with. Because if I can grow my company, then the bank grows as well. And I've had a long-standing relationship with OneBanc. I've been extremely happy with OneBanc at times. They've been extremely happy with me, vice versa. We've gone through some high spots and some low spots. But the point that became apparent from dealing with OneBanc is that they wanted me as a customer, and that they wanted to stick with me. And if I just stuck with them, we could do good things together. So it's more than just money with a small community bank. It's a relationship, and you have to have a partner. You have to have a capital partner, whether it's an investor and you end up giving away some of your equity, or you take on debt with the bank and keep on some of the equities.
All right, thank you. Okay, so we have one last question, and the last question that we want to ask you is, what can we as the 1 Million Cups organization and community do to help you?
I think the biggest thing is you know, we're in the relational business. We're in the business of building relationships with our customers, our potential customers. And so if you guys, you know, not only yourselves, but you have, you know, friends, family, any one of those that, you know, are looking to start up their business or looking to, you know, grow in their business, if you would just refer them to us, you know, let us talk to them, let us help them grow, and you know, and get to know them a little bit better.
All right, thank you, OneBanc. Our next presenter is Giovanni from Leiva'sCoffee. And I also want to make sure that you guys are following us on Twitter. We are live tweeting this entire event, and you can find us at 1 Million Cups LR. Also, make sure you note the hashtags when you tweet. All right, next up, Giovanni.
Right. Hi, Mama. My mom and my sister are watching online, so they're really looking forward to it. Thank you. I hope you guys are all having coffee, and I am actually going to do this a little backwards than I usually do it. So I would like for all of you guys to get your phones out, find us on Facebook or Twitter, and try to tweet about us as I did the presentation and kind of go over this with you guys. It is thank you. It's a privilege to be here. You know, we've been a part of the Innovation Hub family for about maybe 6 months. So I'm really proud of that, and I'm really excited to be a part of this. So, Erin, thank you for allowing me to be a part of the family here. I also want to introduce you guys my wife, which is the biggest goals I have accomplished in life is to have married Elena. So Elena's in the back. I was talking about her earlier. I said the moment that she said yes, I'll go out with you, and say yes, I'll marry you, I knew I had something going for me. Because the odds of that happening, it was like 1,000 to 1, right? So anyways, let me tell you real quick about us. This is coffee. Mom and Dad grow this coffee back home. And let me see, how do I go next? I don't know if you guys know where Guatemala is. Most people do know where Guatemala is, but Guatemala is right next to Mexico, and it has a very strong tradition of really amazing coffees. And not only because of its proximity to the United States, imports more coffee into the United States than any other country in the world, but it has so many microclimates. And for a country that is really tiny, it's really impressive to have microclimates. You know, in the United States, of course, microclimates are, we have a ginormous country, but in Guatemala it's really tiny and it has so many microclimates, it creates so many amazing coffees. And so we already knew that. Let me go back to this real quick, and just tell you about my grandparents first. This is my grandfather, and that's me. I was a little chubby guy. There's my grandmother over here in the middle. My grandmother today, she's 98 years old. Grandpa died whenever he was 53. He died out of prostate cancer. And then that's us at the farm whenever we were growing. And again, that's me right there, the little chubby guy with the hat. Grandpa, me right there. This is the day I left for the United States. But let me go back to this guy. His name is Ezekiel, and he got the farm about 60 years ago, and he got it because he really wanted to start investing in the people that were in this village. And my grandfather has completely embodied the whole idea of one to many. You invest in one person so that person can invest in another person, so that person can invest in a community and change a family and eventually change a country. So that's what everything that we do is based on. Based everything because that's exactly what has happened in my life. And that's what has happened in 3 or 4 generations. It started with my dad, with my great-grandfather, my grandfather, my dad, and I. And so her name is Reina, which means queen. Notice we have a big crown in the back of it is in honor of her. Over here, this is when I came to the United States, I came when I was 17 years old. I came on a private scholarship. And I came because there was a family, a middle class American family that decided that investing would make a difference. Now, of course, that's what we can see now, but they didn't know that at the moment. I paid for all my school so that I could come to the United States. I came, 2 words of English, a shoebox, and about $20 in my pocket. That led to me having to go and learn UALR and learn English. I was fluent in about 8 months. Growing pretty quick. These are the 2 teachers that kind of led me through that. This is us with another family traveling through Mexico because they were coming to the United States. They were missionaries, and so we traveled through Mexico and came up here. But every year when I was here, I always wanted to go back home because our family, our village is beautiful. And I graduated with a computer associate's degree, so I started being a computer programmer. That's when Elena came into the picture. We get married. I started programming, and we went from having to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to all of a sudden having enough money that we could all look at each other and go, okay, this got pretty nice, pretty quick. I became the senior programmer, but I really had a love for my family, and I realized that something had happened in my life, and that had been the education and empowerment have broken me out of poverty. And you can only really eradicate poverty from somebody's life if you educate them and you empower them. If you continue to give them money, handouts, you socialize them. But if you empower them and you capitalize them, then they break out of poverty. But you have to educate and you have to create opportunities for them. And so I was blown away because that's exactly what had happened in my life. And I saw this happening at the farmer level in Guatemala. I was like, what can I do? I was like, they have coffee. And so what would happen if I could bring that coffee to the United States, sell it online, and then I can go back and reinvest it into the village. What a crazy thought. And so I was like, that sounds like something I can run with. And so I started, but let me just tell you what the traditional process, this is something that my grandfather lived, my dad lived, and I lived. I lived in this. I grew up doing this. I grew up going from the farmer to a buyer that would come to a middleman, to another middleman, to eventually the consumer. So hard harvesting this coffee, you guys, and then all of a sudden we would just truck it down to this area, and say, just put it right there. But all those other coffees are. And we're like, but we worked so hard on trying to make sure that this coffee went through the process and it was done correctly, and was cleaned correctly. He was like, I don't care, put it right there. Here's your money, go. But we needed the money. So we would just say, okay, well, my grandfather always said, I wish I knew the people that would drink my coffee, that would understand everything that I went through to make sure that that cup of coffee was the way it was. And so that's what the way the market was. So here I was like, well, let's do this. How about we go from the farmer to the consumer, we lock arms saying, hey, guess what? You can help me, help somebody else. And in exchange for that, I'll give you a much, much better cup of coffee. I'll give you an experience that you never had before, and I'll give you experience that is lost in the coffee world. And so here I am. So we go from the farmer to the consumer. And then guess what happens? All of a sudden you empower people. Why? Because you have more opportunity to empower. And so we go through that empowerment, and now these two little guys right here, these are my nephews, they have a chance for a better future. All of a sudden, why? Because there's no more going back. It's all, okay, here we go, let's pay for the product. And so we go from the farmer getting this little piece of the pie to the farmer getting a piece of the pie. And so eventually, immediately you create empowerment. But then after that, I realized there's so many social needs in here. People don't go to school. They go to school to sixth grade. I had a chance to actually go to 12th grade and graduated with my dad. He graduated from high school at the same time I was graduating from high school. He eventually became a level of a lawyer in Guatemala. And so he has completely educated. He went to school at night. He would go to work and then go to school. Why? Because there was not a chance for a school in Guatemala. So I figured that we needed to get some social work in there. And so from every pound of coffee, I paid 2 or 3 times fair trade credit price in Guatemala. So I immediately empowered them. Then on top of here, I go ahead and from the proceeds, we go back and help in social needs. One of them, clean water. We have beautiful spring water, but we have polluted water. Why? Because there's no bathrooms. Why? Because there's people just use bathroom on the fields, and then guess what? We live in the mountains, so every time it rains, it goes down to the stream, and then everybody gets sick. So we started providing water filters for that. Another issue is they cook their meals over this fire pit. We did it. That's the way everybody does it. So there's no other difference until we find out that, wait, guess what? There is another way. This smoke is killing you. This smoke is just like you smoking a cigarette every day and it's hurting your eyes. It is so simple to fix by just making a stove that will pipe the smoke out. Really? That's simple. And so we started building this stove for these people. And then there was a single mom who needed a house. We built her a house with the help of our church. Why? Because we get to do this stuff. Why? Because these are people that I grew up with, and these are people that I know they need help, and nobody else is trying to help them. So guess what? I get to help. I get to be the one to say, yes, you need it, you need help, I get to help. And that's what wakes me up every morning and through the night, thinking about. Because there's so many needs and it's so easy to help. Well, how? Just by choosing what kind of coffee we drink every morning. It's not just coffee. And so we go here and we build a house for Jenny and took a group of guys from my church. This is the house that Jenny was living in. This is the house that Jenny ended up. We went from literally from a shack to a freaking mansion. The only thing it had is a locked door and electric door. She's the second person that has running water and a toilet in her house. She had to walk about 400 meters to go to the bathroom and up a hill. And I looked at Jamie and I said, so what happens when you have to go at night or you're sick? She's like, I just run as fast as I can go up the hill. So well, that's gonna end today. I want to put you a toilet in your house. She's the only one that has electricity. We got electricity 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we got electricity in my village. 2 years ago. This is some of the areas this kid around the school where Sal's carrying all the material to build a house. During the recess, you know what they did? They all came up and started carrying blocks to the site, and they looked like little ants. But that's what they use the recess for. And then the teacher called them and said, hey, okay, recess is over. They were like, oh, man, we can't carry any more stuff. No, guys, you guys gotta go back to school. Okay, they went back to, that's how they use their recess. And so another thing that we do is we start doing all these little activities for the kids, and then we realize, dude, these guys are not getting educated. And that's what you guys heard about last week with LaJuan, the boys, in the school that we started. Why? Because now we know that education is part of the empowerment. And so we started the free school so that that free school can give them those opportunities that they need. And last month, we graduated our first 5. The first 5 kids in the village, in the history of the village, in the history of mankind, they have graduated from our village at correct age. Now, thank you. That, I realized this last week, is that I have already fulfilled my mission, which is kind of sad and good at the same time, because that just allows me to dream a whole lot of different dreams now. Because my idea was to give a chance to one kid to a better future, just like I had. Now, guess what? I got 5. But guess what? There's hundreds of them waiting for more futures, for better futures. So our goal is to multiply this in all the coffee regions in the world, and all throughout Guatemala, so that there's more first 5s ready to take on the world, ready so that we can have entrepreneurs going and finding and creating jobs. And there's no telling what these first 5 are going to do. So the way we pronounce our company is Leivas, like laid back, and you Leivas. So all that is incredible, and that's really what is at our essence. But I wanted you to enjoy a fine cup of coffee. And how I was going to do that? By roasting it in a way that it properly needed to be done on a state-of-the-art roaster, in a process that it would assure that you will get the freshest cup of coffee every time you chose Leivas. And so that's what we do. We import all the beans into Little Rock and Sherwood. Then I roast them every week, so that every week that you buy coffee from us, you buy the freshest cup of coffee that you can. And so, how do you help us? I know you're wondering how you help us. One of them is you're going to go and tweet about us and share the word as much as you can with everybody. 2 of them is you're gonna, I want you to choose to drink Leivas in any way, in any sort of form. I want your companies to think about how can we partner up with you so that we can serve coffee at our offices, so that we can be a part of this. And also I want you to consider thinking about the school side. And you guys heard about this last week, but we really need to get that school going. And that's what we partner up with LaJuan, so that we can have a nonprofit side of this, so that it can be formally doing that in other things around the country. But that is why we call Coffee with a Purpose. And the purpose is to eradicate poverty, one bean at a time. And we already started in the snowball is about to get going, because we now have 5 futures They have completely been changed, but now we have to create jobs for them. Now we have to create opportunities. And then let me just say one last thing. The worst thing that can happen to a person in need is to continue getting pity. Let me explain that. Pity, feeling sorry for somebody is a good thing because they need help, so you go and help them. But the best thing that can happen to a person in need is to create an opportunity for them, to give them your hand, pick them up, and say, how can I help you help yourself? That's the best thing that can happen. And that's what all these coffee farmers are looking for. They're looking for an opportunity. They're not looking for a handout. And the opportunity is by generating the security of work, sustainability, and the chance for a better future. And that's why we're in the coffee business. We're in the coffee business so that we can change that. We're in the coffee business so that we can both enjoy a great cup of coffee. So, thank you guys.
All right, thank you. We have just a little bit of time in case you want to ask Giovanni a few questions. Do I have any questions from the audience? One right over here. Let me give you the microphone. Please say your name and where you're from.
I'm Jeff McKay, here at Rock. Are the farmers, or do you guys get any resistance or issues with the guys you cut out, the buyers that you cut out of the process?
I always get that question. And, I always get that question, and I love answering that question because that's capitalism at its best. We told the farmers, if you get to choose where to sell your coffee. We, as a family, we're going to harvest our coffee, and we're going to go this route. If you want to sell the coffee to us, sell it. If you want to continue going that route, go that route. This is what I can pay. So you choose. And so that guy has an option. He can quit buying the coffee, or he can raise his price. And that's how we fixed it. And then we had an issue that there was a guy that came and said, hey, I want to buy your coffee, Joe, over here, but I'm going to buy it at $1 a pound. But and you agree, we made a deal. So I'm going to come back when it's ready. So he came back and said, okay, John, give me your coffee. But guess what? I only got 75 cents to pay this time. And guess what? Because I'm here ready to pick up your coffee, you got your coffee ready, I only got 75 cents. And on top of that, I'm not going to pay until about 9 months from now. And the guy looked at him and said, forget it. I want to take it to Don Armando. Because I know Don Armando's actually done something. So you know what he did? He grabbed all that coffee, went and dumped it in front of my dad's house on the door and said, hey, take that coffee and pay me whenever you can pay, because I know you're actually doing something good for the community, and not this guy that's going to rip me up. That's how we fix that problem. And I love telling people about that because that's how the market works. And so we're just another option for that. Anybody else?
One in the back. Here, let me give you this mic. Don't forget to tell us who you are.
Hey, Mike Stevens, Sparkle. Still think this is one of the greatest OneBanc Cup stories, that we've had since this started. So let me give you a hypothetical. So let's say that the community of OneBanc Cups in Central Arkansas figures out ways to help you, point you in the direction of maybe we get you in contact with Oprah. I don't know. This is awesome story. But what is the theoretical scale, for you, both as from a raw material standpoint today? How quickly could you grow, and what would that entail both there and here in the Sherwood area in terms of accomplishing?
I appreciate that because you guys took a chance on me when we were over there at the Chamber of Commerce, and I loved it. And I was so fresh at that point, like I was so nervous that day Today is a little easier for me because I can't see you all throughout the day. But so our goal is to sell about 500,000 pounds of coffee, of green coffee. We have the ability to produce over 500,000 pounds if we need to. And that is a great question because we are in the process of that. We're in the process of, we found out that the market is ready for something like this, something that is as traceable as we are. That we are not just jumping on this, let's help the farmers wagon for a little bit and see how we do this, and everybody is just like, this is the new faith. No, we're actually that. And so we realize that we have an option there. So that we have an option to produce, to actually get those out the door, about 500,000 pounds today. We have that equipment. I have invested with the help of banks and my dad's sweat and equity on that. Every bit of money that we put after we give away, we put it back into the company. And so we have the equipment and we have the facilities. The only thing we're looking for right now is we need to upgrade our warehouse. And we have ideas of coffee shops. We have ideas of partnering up with more 5-star hotels, boutique hotels. So there's, as you may or may not know, our coffee is served at the Capitol Hotel. They're great partners of ours. So we have that option to do that right now, and we're already in place to handle that. So let's say, all of a sudden we go from having our normal week to quadrupling that. That's really what I'm after. And the reason why is because not only you produce jobs here in Little Rock, but listen to this stat. When we started, we employed 2 people back home. And it was just my adopted brother and his aunt, his mom. This has been going since 2008, by the way. And this just go back since while I was growing over there, so that's the way it always was. This past season, I think it was about 150 people. They got to work for about 4 months. This season, they're already going nuts. So in Guatemala, the effect is rippling in so many ways. Over here in Little Rock, my goal is to generate about 20 to 25 jobs. And how I have already ideas on how to do it with kids coming out of the foster system, the older kids coming out of the foster system, giving options to kids, people that really need a second chance. And that's what it is. That's how I want to do that. I don't know if I quite answered your question, but any other questions?
I just shout it. So I'm Kim. So are your mom and sister watching right now?
Yeah.
From where is the camera?
Well, they're right here. They're watching the stream.
So are they in Guatemala?
Yes.
All right. So that's super awesome that this is now being streamed internationally today.
Yes.
You know, I also just want to say that I can't say enough good things about you, and you give back to this community a ton too. But can you talk about how, since your mom and sister are watching, how has this changed their lives? And what if you had just stayed a developer, programmer here, but now you're living out their dream? Can you talk about that?
Okay, so yes, so mom and dad, and probably my dad is actually watching. I don't know, he has he had a bunch of stuff that he's dealing with. But I hope he's over there. My mom and dad, my sister. So my sister is the one that runs all the nonprofits. So she's the director of the school. And also she runs all our social work, such as we take churches over there, we take trips over there, we take people over there to do that part. So Karina is like the heart of that. And she connects me with all those needs. And she translates my dad's dreams and hopes into something that I can quite understand and say, okay, this is the way we should go. So, and then my mom has been able to really just pour into those ladies. And so they quit their job about 4 or 5 years ago so they could do this full time because they were having full-time jobs as well. And so their lives have been completely changed in the way that they're really seeing their gifts and they're seeing what they were made to do and how they would love to flesh out my grandfather's legacy. And so this whole movement is based on, and we're calling it the Ezekiel legacy. And Ezekiel being my grandfather. And that is because we are all embodying that in different areas. So my sister does the social work, and my mom actually is investing on those women. And we're generating other ways like jewelry. We're trying to teach the women how to do jewelry, because right now we can only employ those people for about 4 months, because that's all the harvest lasts, and mainly are men. So we need to find a way to get the women involved, so that we can see what the women can do, and then we can see where we can go with them. And so my mom is trying to generate, so she's learning how to make jewelry, and she's learning how to do all this stuff, soaps and all that, so that we can teach them, and eventually one day have a line of jewelry and soaps and any other stuff that we can think of that the women can help us with. So that's and then there's more work to come. Our hope is to generate another 25 jobs in Guatemala, but other than coffee, such as bakery, carpentry. We really want to have a maker space in Guatemala as well.
All right, thank you. And so that's our last presenter for the day. Does anybody have any announcements that you would, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't ask you, what was the one thing that we could do for you as a community?
Okay. So the one thing that's kind of like what I told you at the beginning is tweet the heck out of us today, and really throughout the time. Also, just really try to, through Twitter and Facebook and all that, try to get us connected with other people, like maybe your church, maybe other businesses. They really need to hear how we can help them provide premium coffee, and how we can help them and really just be a part of this. And like Mike said, let's get in front of Oprah one day. I'm just kidding. Just find ways to if we can lock arms, and then we can really, because when you are part of, when you do that, you become part of La Familia Leiva. And I think that it takes a village to raise a child, and it's going to take a community, and it's going to take us adopting this community and other communities, so that we can all make a difference in their lives. And then one day we can all say, hey, we were a part of that change. And so that's what I want to do. So please help us do that.
Okay, so we'll have OneBanc cups next Wednesday, 9 o'clock as usual. And that's it for our presentations today. Thanks.